What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro Duel video. New Monarch support was announced a couple of days ago. Two new cards are being featured here in the video. First of all we have the new Monarch card. It's like a Premature Burial, a weaker version of Premature Burial. It's an equip card and that's quite important since now you have the option to run Isolde in your extra deck. You know, the Noble Knight Link monster. It only needs 2 warrior types, so both like red layer is definitely an option to go for that instant fusion, to go for your invoked Jin, and Idea is also an option for that, as you will see in a couple of moments. Again, going for Isolde gives you like a nice toolbox and some additional first turn plays. I believe it's like a new rank 5 exceed the Chimera, Doom Chimera. It's decent, but in theory, it's much more, at least yeah, it's much better compared to. Yeah, compared in reality, that's something I want to say. It's like the card could have been better, but it's decent. The idea behind this is that you can just like make it with 2 level 5s. It can attack every monster of your opponent. It will only get like 1000 attack per exceed material, so most of the time that's like 2. And at the end, I believe at the end of the battle phase, you can attach one monster from your graveyard to it, or take one monster from your opponent's graveyard and put it on top of his deck, so potentially giving your opponent a dead draw. But the idea behind this is to, you know, pick your idea from your graveyard, put it as an exceed material, and possibly use Idea's effect banished, you know, get something banished back to your hands. Extra deck Monarchs, well, let me get this straight. It's not, Monarchs aren't top tier, far from being top tier, although in the OCG they have pretty much Monarchs at full force. Only 1 Pantheism is lacking. They still have 3 Aether, 3 Stormfort, and now double Pantheism. So, at least for me, I hope we get something like that here in the TCG, but probably not, right? So yeah, let's see a couple of example duels. Alright, first example, again, I get to start, well, that's pretty much one of the most important things, is that if we ever get, you know, that Monarch support back from the ban list, like Aether, Stormfort, mostly those two, high hopes for those two. Pantheism, definitely needed, of course, but TCG Konami is never going to do that. You need 2 warriors on your side of the field, so going for something like Red Layer and Idea, definitely an option. Don't use Idea's effect just yet, it will prevent your extra deck summon. Go for Isolde, and eventually Isolde will net you a second copy of Idea. So again, prolonging your engine, you know, setting up multiple monsters in your grave, and eventually you'll be getting Idea's effect eventually, since, you know, you didn't use it first turn, but at least during your opening play, but you'll use it off of your Isolde, so after you already used up your extra deck. So again, some nice toolbox here. That's why I prefer Red Layer over something like, what is it called, Kaiser Force Raider? It's level 5, it could, you know, you could potentially main deck it because it's a dark and the deck lacks a lot of consistency. Something like Allure could be also in the main deck, but I'm not running too many dark monsters, right? Linkuriboh, as a European player, we are not allowed to play Linkuriboh. I believe it's a Shonen Jump promo, right? So we in Europe are not allowed to play that, but you know, by the time we are getting this new support, we might get Linkuriboh as well. So I might just try it out, right? Eventually use Erebus to eventually, you know, get rid of the Makaba, and now I can attack for the game. So again, a very nice opening play, very nice opening moves here with both Red Layer or Instant Fusion or, you know, Idea. You need 2 warrior type monsters, right? But still, this doesn't change the fact that it's like, if you're opening, you have to open, by the way. You want to go first, absolutely, you definitely want to go first. It doesn't change the fact that you are very vulnerable to hand traps, mainly Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom can stop this deck, well, which deck doesn't stop Ash Blossom, right? Or at least which deck can't she stop? But again, like, normal summon your Idea and your opponent has an Ash Blossom that can potentially stop you in your tracks. Again, try to use the Idols from its, at least from the graveyard, but still have a lot of follow-up plays. You use, at least force out the Megaba and drop that Majesty's Fiend, which is just as a one-off in the deck, right? Let's say if everything comes back at full force, I might, well, tweak, at least might lean a little bit more to Domain Monarch, simply because because it's a very ignorant deck, both like multiple Vanity's Fiend, maybe even multiple Majesty's Fiend as well. Just, you know, playing on the domain, and if your opponent doesn't have an out for it, it's GG, well played. Then again, you know, it's like a comparison from last year. Should I play domain or extra deck? Extra deck does have more plays, and you know, with something like Spirals, Spiral Super Agent, it's like an instant out for your domain. And yeah, other spell and trap removal also, by the way, so something like Scolding is definitely needed to protect your setup if you're playing the domain variant. But again, just for testing purposes, playing the extra deck variant. I'm not a huge fan of Brilliant Fusion, so Brilliant Fusion is not here in the deck. Not really sure, I believe, yeah, only has access to double Markaba, but again, yeah, the Ash Blossom on the Aether definitely hurts, since again, I can't send 2 Monarch spell and traps from my deck to the graveyard, but still, I have enough plays set up. Again, going for another idea to get some nice shenanigans going, get a bit of Stormfort for next turn here. Yeah, I was distracted and I forgot. I believe we knew he had a double Alistair in his hand. In the end, in the long run, it's not going to matter too much. The Vanity's Fiend will slow him down eventually. Okay, he will get a couple of draws, but again, he does opt to leave the Fiend on the field, which is all fine. He knows I have Stormfort, so that's a game over, well played. Another example, and this is, I think, one of the only duels I was able to get that new rank 5 Doom Chimera on my side of the field, to at least special summon it to my side of the field, since it's very situational. Most of the time, it's just better to go for something like Pleiades or Volcasaurus maybe, or maybe even, oh, what is it called, the double attacker, I forgot its name, you know what I mean, right, rank 5 Exceed, that like detaches and one of your Monarchs or whatever can attack twice during the same battle phase. Anyway, so get the Aether back at least. Yeah, you know, there's some standard Monarch shenanigans, right? Go for Doom Chimera. I have the idea in my graveyard, so at the end of the battle phase, Doom Chimera battled, so I can attach the idea to it as an Exceed material. So potentially, when, you know, it's like sent to the graveyards, because, you know, Doom Chimera, it doesn't have an effect to detach something, so that's a problem. But again, it will eventually get destroyed, idea will trigger, and that eventually proves to be quite important, since again the opponent is able to Mulling Glacier me, not really sure. He could have, well yeah, I believe the Prince needs to be in attack position, right, so, to be tributed off of, it's Abyss Megalo, yeah, Abyss Megalo. But doesn't really matter in the long run, since again I won't be using my extra deck here. Again, you're just forcing out the Abyss Scale with my field spell, and eventually will put Vanity's Fiend on board as well. Again, Vanity's Fiend is your MVP, pretty much your MVP, right? Just to always going for Vanity's Fiend if you see the option. Not a lot of decks do main deck outs for that. Again, another example, against Clifford, not the greatest matchup. That's also something, is that as long as True Draco is still a valuable or a viable option in the format, True Draco is just a better tribute engine compared to, you know, regular Mega Monarchs, right? I'm definitely honest about that. First on Isolde, again, very nice to search out a second copy of Red Layer, setting it up for later, since again you have already one copy in your graveyard. You know, the recycle possibilities with 2 red layers. Again, the first turn, another tribute summon, since again I think I was able to, you know, not use my normal summon and eventually get the second tribute summon thanks to Eidos, and the opponent is going to scoop already. That's all fine though. Again, I get to start, but you know, and that's how it goes, right, with everyone and their mother running multiple hand traps, a lot of hand traps. Ash Blossom, they will always open with Ash Blossom, right? So normal summon idea, try to use the effect, but the opponent says Ash Blossom, and that can, you know, pretty much stop your indoor tracks and give your opponent the game already, depending on your opening hand. But it's not like Monarchs from last year with triple Pantheism, triple Stormfort, then you might be able to recover from that, but nope, with only one Pantheism and one Stormfort, that's definitely not an option. I think I eventually will survive, but my next draw will be like a dead draw. So again, yeah, this is still Monarchs, right? Every brick, dot deck, and one hand trap can pretty much stop you in your tracks. So GG, well played, scoop phase has been entered. Last example against Heroes, have the option to start again. Yeah, again, just showcasing the possibilities, right? It's still Mega Monarchs, not too many changes. But again, you have the option to go for Isolde, and that's cute, right? Searching out another copy of Red Layer, already have have a tribute monster in my hand. That's good. Again, use its effect to send the equip spell card, yeah, the new Monarchs, second coming of the Monarchs, to my graveyard. I rarely use its Premature Burial effect. It's not that great. Special summoning the Monarch in defense position. An option for that might be like a rank 8 Exceed play. That's an option. Maybe a Link Zone play, but yeah, seems like strange, right? The fact that it's like an equip card has more utility with Isolde. The opponent also going for Isolde, not really sure if he has any like possible plays he can do. Go for Aether again, setting up my graveyard, bypass the Edge Blossom thanks to my return, that's all good. Need the Kuras to get rid of my return, get a couple of draws, and now I have a lot of plays ready. Maybe I should put, what is it called, the wind up, is it Zenmeister, the rank 5 that can potentially destroy, I believe it needs to destroy 2 set cards indeed. But anyway, play these most of the time as a superior move. Link Rebo again to get another search of my idea. Again, very nice to, you know, eventually force out an idea, search or yeah, idea at without using your tribute summon, right? Get Vanity Suit on board, and that's again very nice. I can't say it's well played, right? But you know what I mean. Erebus will seal the deal. So this is currently my list. Again, feel free to leave opinions as long as we don't get back multiple Aethers, multiple Stormfort, Pantheism of course as well. The deck isn't really going to do anything during the upcoming formats. But still, the idea of Isolde is definitely something to explore more for extra deck Monarchs. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium sign out. Peace.